In this podcast episode, Tucker Carlson speaks with Maxime Bernier, the leader of the People's Party of Canada. The conversation delves into a range of pressing issues facing Canada, including the impact of mass immigration, the economic policies of former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and the potential for a political revolution in the country. Bernier begins by reflecting on Trudeau's tenure, asserting that the former Prime Minister was not working in the best interests of Canadians. He argues that Trudeau's policies have led to significant economic, social, and cultural destruction in Canada. Bernier cites the authoritarian measures taken during the COVID-19 pandemic, including the imposition of a vaccine passport and the arrest of individuals speaking out against government mandates. He shares his personal experience of being jailed for advocating for freedom, emphasizing the authoritarian nature of Trudeau's government. Bernier expresses no regrets about his decision not to get vaccinated, stating that it was one of the best choices he ever made. He criticizes Trudeau for implementing a vaccine passport that restricted travel for unvaccinated individuals, further illustrating the government's overreach during the pandemic. The conversation shifts to the economic ramifications of Trudeau's policies, particularly the massive increase in national debt. Bernier highlights that Trudeau doubled Canada's debt in just 10 years, a figure that took the country 148 years to accumulate. He argues that the government's approach to deficits is misguided, claiming that borrowing money cannot stimulate the economy and instead serves as a sedative. Bernier points out that Canada is currently facing a recession with a declining standard of living. He attributes this decline to mass immigration, which he believes has outpaced economic growth, leading to a decrease in GDP per capita. He warns that the influx of immigrants without proper integration into Canadian society has created a perfect storm, resulting in social fragmentation and economic challenges. A significant portion of the discussion revolves around mass immigration and its consequences. Bernier argues that the current immigration policies are unsustainable and detrimental to Canadian society. He advocates for a moratorium on immigration, suggesting that Canada should pause immigration for a few years to address the issues stemming from rapid population growth. He believes that the government should prioritize the needs of existing Canadians over the influx of newcomers. Bernier also critiques the multiculturalism philosophy that has been promoted in Canada since the 1970s, arguing that it has led to a lack of integration among immigrants. He expresses concern about the emergence of ghettos in Canadian cities, where newcomers live in isolation rather than assimilating into the broader culture. He emphasizes the need for a cohesive national identity and the importance of integrating immigrants into Canadian society. The podcast also touches on the role of mainstream media in shaping public perception and political discourse. Bernier laments the lack of coverage for his party and its ideas, suggesting that the media is biased against alternative viewpoints. He argues that the media's focus on Trudeau and the Liberal Party has overshadowed the People's Party's message, which he believes resonates with a growing number of Canadians. Bernier expresses frustration with the current political landscape, where both the Liberal and Conservative parties appear to share similar ideologies. He describes them as a uniparty, both promoting policies that he believes are harmful to Canada. He calls for a political revolution, asserting that the People's Party represents the only hope for restoring Canadian sovereignty and addressing the pressing issues facing the nation. As the conversation progresses, Bernier reflects on the potential for a quiet revolution in Canada. He believes that Canadians are becoming increasingly aware of the challenges posed by mass immigration and government overreach. He envisions a future where citizens peacefully protest against the status quo, similar to the Freedom Convoy that emerged during the pandemic. Bernier emphasizes the importance of returning to a merit-based system in various sectors, including government and the military. He criticizes the current emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, arguing that they undermine meritocracy and lead to inefficiencies. He advocates for a return to traditional values that prioritize competence and responsibility. The discussion also touches on the broader implications of globalization and the influence of organizations like the World Economic Forum. Bernier argues that these entities promote policies that prioritize globalism over national interests, leading to detrimental effects on Canadian sovereignty. He expresses concern about the growing influence of foreign powers, particularly China, on Canadian politics and resources. Bernier warns that Canada is at a tipping point, where the balance between maintaining its identity and accommodating mass immigration is becoming increasingly precarious. He believes that if current trends continue, Canada may lose its unique character and face significant social unrest.